Hari Om. People ask me how to control the mind. This question appears so genuine, but actually it's a stupid question. There are some questions which appear as though they are not connected to spirituality, but in fact they are connected. And there are also some questions often asked by many which appear as though they are deeply rooted and connected in spirituality, but actually they are not. One of them is this control of mind. How to control the mind? Before asking a question, if a seeker inquires thoroughly about what he has to ask and what is the real problem, at least he can try to explore a bit, then the question's quality will be nice. But generally people don't follow that. Pariprashna, it is called in Bhagavad Gita. Pariprashna people don't do. They do prashna. They ask questions. So when they say control the mind, is it the mind that they want to control really? Or is it the tyranny of the mind which is uninvited by them? They want to control that. This is the question. Because if my mind is very beautiful, will I control that? And the mind, suppose, is giving all happiness, will I ever get a thought to control it? So when I want to control the mind, it is in a way I am telling that my mind's activity is not that conducive for my happiness now. So it's not the controlling the mind now. It is how to make mind to give me happiness. People without understanding this have formed a lot of notions. One of them is mind is running so fast and I want to arrest the running of the mind. But dear friends, it is a very stupid idea, because you can never arrest the running of the mind. In fact, you are what you are, an intelligent being, able to cognize many things and decipher and try to calculate, appreciate, understand, apply and all these things only by mind. So if you say my mind should not run, that means you are trying to reduce yourself to be a non-entity, a fellow with no faculty of knowledge, because any piece of knowledge enters into me only because of the running of mind. And it is the running of the mind which makes me knowledgeable, because the mind, the running, all this thing can be called in one word the process of consideration. Before the categorical conclusion of something, the consideration process plays a lot of important role. Without that process, no man can ever reach the state of categorical conclusion. So it is not the running of the mind which I want to control, which needs to be controlled, but it is the running in improper direction which is to be controlled. So now I need to give a proper direction to the mind, not the stop of, not trying to put a cease to the running itself. Let the running be there, but be that in a proper direction. And how to give a proper direction to this mind is again important question. As long as I do not make my intellect strong with the scriptural teaching, till then my intellect will not give any direction to the mind. Because what the directions in which the mind is running now, the improper which they prove to be at the end, are again given by the intellect. But that intellect, what is guiding the mind now, is having only little intellect. You have to understand this. The intellect, what is guiding the mind now, has very little intellect. So it needs to be updated, it needs to be developed. Because in a given situation, I, without scriptural knowledge, or for that matter any knowledge, I tend to act in an impulsive way. The impulsiveness, what is there in the intellect, which is often transferred to the mind. People say impulsiveness is because of mind. No, it is the intellect. Because mind is samshayatmik antahkarana vrittihi. Samshaya is there in the mind. And it is the intellect which gives nishchayam. So even impulsive decision comes out of the nishchayam. If you closely understand and try to decipher that, you will understand this. You will clearly come to know about this. So that buddhi which is not backed up by the proper vision regarding anything gives impulsive directions to the mind, and mind responds or reacts in that way, thus resulting in a situation wherein dukkham, sorrow, is the result. So now I need to control my mind, and thus to save myself from stress, etc. First job is not directly taking to meditation or something, but reading scriptures. And scripture alone can give a proper impetus to the buddhi, and that buddhi can guide the mind. And whenever the buddhi is guiding the mind in a proper way, backed up and blessed by the scriptural injunctions, then the mind, wherever it goes, it enjoys happiness. Because this creation is God's creation. There is no dukkham. If you say there is sorrow in the creation, that amounts to saying that God has created sorrow. And Bhagavan is Ananda Swarupaha, Satyam Gnanam Anantam. This is how Ishvara's Swarupa is being explained in Upanishads. Here Anantam is called Anandam. Anandam is called Anantam. So the Ananda Swarupa